Hello and welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, powered each week by Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. If you have any tree trimming, tree removal, or stump removal needs, our friends at Harper's Tree and Stump Removal have you covered. They can haul rock and sand, they can do driveway work, and can now do horizontal grinding of large wood debris piles. Give Keith a call at 229-314-2048. or at 229-938-2412. Harper's Tree and Stump Removal is proud to be the premier sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, and sports administrators. Now, here's your host, Tm Estes.
Hello, and thank you for making the Integrity Sports Podcast a part of your weekly routine. If you're watching today on Facebook, make sure and hit the like and share buttons. If you're watching on YouTube, we need you to subscribe. Go to the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. And today we're going to have a lot of fun. We're joined by my good friend Dakota Albritton. Many of you may know him as Stiltz with the Savannah Bananas. Dakota, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Tim. I'm excited about it.
Hey, this is going to be a lot of fun. I think you and I met when you were in high school. You were playing high school baseball for Coach Chuck Cheek and the Sly County Wildcats, one of the top high school baseball programs in the state of Georgia. What I'd like to do, Dakota, as we get started today, for those folks that just may casually know who you are or may just know you as Stiltz, you grew up in rural Southwest Georgia in Sly County, which is very small. Tell folks a little about how you grew up, the kind of things that you like to do. Who was Dakota Albritton as a young kid and a teenager?
I always love to reflect back and tell everybody about my childhood growing up in Ellaville. It's about the same as every other teenage boy growing up. We did a lot of fishing and played a lot of baseball, hunted a lot, rode dirt roads. Just that's about all you could do is play sports and enjoy the outdoors in old Ellaville.
You know, you don't get to be 20 plus years old, Dakota, and you don't say, hey, I'm going to learn to walk on stilts. So I imagine that's probably something you learned growing up. Tell me a little bit about how that came about, and how did you pitch that to Jesse Cole and the Savannah Bananas?
All right. That's kind of a funny story. I was 10 or 11 years old, something like that. And every year for Christmas, I'd always get just something that I had to work at and learn how to do. And I always had weird, crazy talents. I could ride a unicycle forwards, backwards. I could flip across the yard, anything like that, pogo sticks, anything I was always really good at. And one year I got a pair of stilts for Christmas, and I got on them, and I ran across the yard, and I ran back across, and it was just something that came really natural to me. And I realized that I could do it, didn't have to practice at it. I put them up for 10 years, and then I brought them out to Jesse Cole at the first Banana Ball World Tour tryout. And I said, hey, Jesse, I brought my stilts. I don't know what you want me to do with them, but I can walk on them. And he asked me if I could hit a baseball, and that thought had never crossed my mind, you know. And I told him, heck yeah, I can hit a baseball. So I got on it, and I showed him what I could do, and I surprised myself. I surprised him, and I woke up the next morning. I was all over Savannah News, so I knew something good was going to come out of it. I thought it was going to be very short-lived, but it kind of turned into a lot more than I was expecting.
Dakota, he's turned out to be like a marketing genius. I mean, this thing, Savannah Ball, has really taken off. Tell me a little bit about the relationship that you have with not just him, but the entire leadership team with the Savannah Bananas.
The first thing that they make sure of before they hire anybody onto their staff or a player is anything is you have to be a very good, genuine, fans first person. You got to be very respectable. You have to always put yourself, I guess you could say, last, and put everybody in front of yourself, and that shows in the organization. They all take care of us really well, and it's like one big family. I don't go to work thinking I'm going to work. I'm going to work to spend time with my best friends and all that.
Today's show is also being brought to you by Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance. They're located at 925 MLK Jr. Boulevard in Americus. You can reach Marty at 928-3686. Drop by and see Marty, Mary Lynn, or any of his fine staff and let them discuss your insurance needs with you. They can also do the famous discount double check to ensure that you're receiving all of the savings that you deserve. Thanks to Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance for sponsoring this segment of the Integrity Sports Podcast. And like always, State Farm is there. Banana Ball has really taken off over the past few years. You guys are now selling out stadiums all over the country. You've been on ESPN and all kind of other national programs. I saw recently where you were part of the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's got to be fun. What's it like during your season to have such a fan following?
I guess it kind of falls back to where I come from. Never in a million years did I expect to have people all the way across the country know who I am before I can ever even introduce myself, and it's really, really cool. It's something I could have never in a million years dreamed of, but it's super special to me.
I remember one time, Dakota, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe, you and I talked, and you were in the outfield warming up at Biscuit Stadium over in Montgomery, where I had played college ball. And now, that's a big stadium. That's a minor league stadium. And now I understand you guys are going to be doing some major league stadiums in the coming year.
Yes, sir. Fenway is definitely at the top of my list of excitement. I'm ready to take a step out on the Fenway and see a sold out crowd. That's definitely gonna bring some tears out my eyes.
Hey, here's something pretty neat I want to talk about. I know it's got to be flattering to you, but it's something that happened during Halloween. I was in downtown Ellaville for the annual trick or treat, and it's a young lady named Blakely. She came up on some Stiltz. She had on a Bananas jersey, and I took a picture with her. My family and I took a picture with her and sent that to you. And you just thought that was the neatest thing. And from my understanding, that's happened all over the country. People are starting to dress like certain Bananas characters. But man, it's got to be great to see the impact that you're making on young people.
It is. That's honestly the most special thing to me that has came out of all of this is just being able to impact I call them future banana ballers. The upcoming generation, just knowing that I get to play a small part in bringing joy to their lives, making them happy. There's nothing better in the world to me than knowing that.
And I saw recently on Facebook something else, Dakota. I think you saw this as well. There's a big craze with Elf on the Shelf, and all these young kids have these elves, and the parents fly those elves to different locations every day, and the kids get up and try to find it. And one of them had a pair of chopsticks on its legs, and it was Stiltz. That's got to be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, especially just people who knew me coming up, especially there in Ellaville. I've seen a lot of them, everybody knowing me, what kind of person I was coming up through Ellaville, country little town. They always have the long legs, and then normally they go into a pair of Georgia boots or something out there by their front door. So it's an exact representation.
Hey, it's something you and I didn't talk about prior to this today, but I think you'll be willing to talk about it. This tells people a little bit about the kind of guy you are behind the scenes. This summer, my son-in-law bought a new boat, a big deck boat, hurricane deck boat, and we went riding on Lake Blackshear, and we pulled back behind where the blue hole is, and we see this guy jumping off a tree from probably 30 feet up. And I get close and I said, that looks like Dakota Albritton. And there you were doing kind of some of the things you did as a teenager. But it's got to be fun to be that guy that when people pull up on you, no matter where you're at, they kind of know who you are.
It's very special to me. I reflect back to the blue hole a lot. That's the place that brought a lot of my crazy antics, my flipping, where I adrenaline mainly. I loved adrenaline. If it would make my heart race a little bit, I'd go jump out the trees, do flips off the ropes and everything. And I tell a lot of people as well that I was Tarzan a long time before I was Stiltz.
That's right. That's right. Hey, another one of our sponsors is one of your friends, Scott Westbrook from up in Butler. He owns uh, the All South Appraisals Company. They're your trusted partner in appraising rural properties. They can handle all types of properties, whether it's agricultural, commercial, or residential. All South Appraisals has a commitment to accuracy and a dedication to the unique nuances of rural properties, and that's what sets them apart. They blend modern technology with old-fashioned attention to detail. So whether you're a lender, an attorney, an accountant, a real estate agent, a broker, or a property owner, give Scott Westbrook at All South Appraisals a call. Their number is 478-837-3818. All South Appraisals is proud to be a part of the Integrity Sports Podcast. Dakota, tell me a little bit about what the Bananas have planned for the upcoming season.
Oh, I'm not sure on the numbers yet, but I know I don't know how many exactly how many stops we're making, but I know we're playing in front of right at 1 million people. We'll play in front of 1 million fans this upcoming season. There's 6 MLB stadiums, and the wait list now is right at 3 million people. So
wow,
this season's definitely going to be crazy. It's gonna top the charts compared to last year. We're going on a cruise. It's called Banana Land at Sea. At the very end, we're taking us, the team, the organization, and I think right at 2,500 fans. We're going to the Bahamas. We're going to be performing on the boat. We're going to be doing a lot of crazy fun stuff that's never been done by a baseball team before.
Man, that'll be fun. Speaking of fans that are on a waiting list, my sister-in-law has a sister that lives out in Houston, Texas. She tried to get into the lottery to get Bananas tickets last year, didn't get them. Now her son is 10 years old, and that's really what he wanted. So I put on Facebook, hey, I know this guy that plays for the Bananas, but it really is hard to get tickets right now, isn't it?
It is. I tell everyone I get 2 player tickets per game, and that's hard too because normally my mom, my dad, and my fiance are there. So I struggle with tickets as well. You know, it's super hard for me to accommodate my close people as well.
Yeah. And I heard you just signed a new contract for the upcoming year. You don't have to get into details of that, but tell me about what it's like to be under contract with a pro baseball organization.
There's a lot of legal things that you have to watch out for, logo wise, and like it's really cool. This is the longest one I've been on. Normally all the contracts have been 7 months, just the length of the season, but now they're starting to give us 12-month contracts. So everything's taken a big step in the right way for players and for the organization every season.
Dakota, when you're not playing baseball with the Bananas and you come back to Sly County, what kind of things do people expect to see you doing?
Normally they either, if you see me in Ellaville, I'm either at the store getting me a bottle of water, or I'm leaving my deer stand, or I'm going to my deer stand, or I got a deer in the bed of my truck. One of the two. I mean, I'm doing something like that. Matter of fact, this evening, as soon as Haley gets off of work, me and her are heading to Ellaville, and we're going to be in the deer stand for the next 10 days. So,
man, that sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, your family is one of those families that's really a staple in Sly County. One of my good friends that's kin to you, Brandon Albritton, one of the most famous barbecue guys in all of Southwest Georgia. Got to be neat to be part of a family that's so well thought of in your hometown.
It is. Family always comes first. Without my family, I'm nothing. So.
Well, man, it's been a lot of fun having you on today. It's going to be fun following you this year, not just on the national news, but since we know you so well, we follow you on social media. Tell fans that are watching this show, how can they follow you? What are your social media that you're asking folks to follow?
I do a lot on TikTok and Instagram. They're both, you can just type in Dakota Stiltz Albritton, and I'll be the very top one. So if y'all want to give me a follow, I'd appreciate that so much.
Man, that's awesome. And Dakota, we hope you'll tell all your friends and share this on your social media as well. We're trying to get folks to go to the YouTube page for the Integrity Sports Podcast. As you know, it's really important to hit the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, yes, and that's when they can start monetizing you. So if you'll help us get the word out so that folks will hit the subscribe button. But man, it's been a lot of fun having you. It's so cool that one of our own is hitting it big on the national stage. And we hope you know that the folks here in Southwest Georgia are very supportive of what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Mr. Tim. I've had a blast being on here with you, and I look forward to doing it next time. And I'll be in Ellaville for the next 10 days, so maybe I'll see you around Ellaville.
Well, we certainly want to thank Dakota Stiltz Albritton for being our guest today. And I tell you what, partner, I forgot to do one thing. We're going to do this before we get off today. Every week, I talk to the guests that I have on about the people behind the scenes that lift them up. You know, in your situation, it looks like a lot of fun, but it's actually work. And I'm sure you have good days and bad days. Who are some of those folks behind the scenes, Dakota, that keep you lifted up and encourage you?
It falls back on those three people: my mom, my dad, and my fiance. If I have a bad outing or something, first thing I always do is I'll get off the field, and I'll go check my phone, and before I can even send them a message, I have a message from them. Oh, it's all good. It happens. You're all good. Keep your head up. So
good deal.
They push me, and they push me to drive after my goals. They know that this makes me happy, and they want to see me happy. So
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to try to get you back on here sometime during the season. I'll give you a call. We'll set it up, and we'll do it from one of these stadiums that you're at. And, man, that ought to be a lot of fun. So thank you for being with me today.
Yes, sir, Mr. Tim. Thank you for having me.
Dakota Stiltz Albritton from the Savannah Bananas, and we want to thank you for making the Integrity Sports Podcast a part of your weekly routine. Please go to our YouTube page and hit the subscribe button, like and share this. We're available on 9 different social media and podcast platforms. For my good friend Dakota Albritton, I'm Tm Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.